There you go. Alrighty. Well, hello, everyone. We'll still give people another minute, but I just wanted to say welcome. And we're so glad you're here with us. Before we dive into it, I do want to see if you guys can add in the chat window of our Zoom call here your name and where you're tuning in from. It's just, really fun knowing where you guys are at in the world and yeah, helps us talk with you instead of at you. And, it's a whole different dynamic in how webinars go. So, yeah, feel free to use the chat. And as we go through the webinar as well, if you come up with questions along the way, feel free to use the chat, and then we'll circle back with your questions in the Q&A section of the webinar. So, yeah. Awesome.
Well, this is fun to see. I had no idea where everybody was from. I guess I've never asked that question because there's not one person other than Scott that I knew where they were. So we've got North Carolina, Houston, Texas, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oh, that's great.
Providence. Yeah,
Providence, Rhode Island. Yeah, that's great.
I'm liking it. We got some Midwestern uh flair here.
There we
No
go.
longer the only person in the Midwest on these calls. I love it. Awesome. Okay. Well, we do have 30 minutes today, so I want to make sure that we can cover as much as we can, if hopefully everything. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I first wanted to talk about who Epiphany is, and for those of you who may not know, we are the original NetSuite equipment management experts. Since 2002, we've been living and breathing NetSuite. We were actually, fun fact, the first company to build formal add-ons on the platform. Our platform is purpose-built for companies that manage the full life cycle of a unit, from the moment it ships as a finished good all the way through service, repair, and eventually the retirement of the unit. Whether you're running aerospace MRO, heavy equipment operations, or field service, we've built it for your complexity. And here's just what sets us apart is we're not bolted on. We are built natively inside of NetSuite, which means the contract and warranty, deeper repair, field service, rentals, job costing, projects budgeting, they all live together, work together, and they give you one source of truth. Everything we've built centers around one thing, and that's the unit. So every module orbits the unit record, the maintenance history, warranty status, site information, and whether that unit is yours or the customer's, it doesn't matter. It's all there in that one place. It's one record, one version of the truth. Your operations, service, finance teams finally look at the same data in real time. And this is the foundation for a smarter, faster, more profitable operation. And it only performs at its best when your NetSuite is clean, fast, and optimized, which is exactly what we're here to talk about today. So, um, let's see, Brenda, you are our CEO, and we are so happy you're here with us. Um, so let's talk about ScriptDebt and what we created to help bring it to light in everyone's account. The floor is yours.
Wonderful. Well, I want to say thank you all again for being here and super excited to talk about this because, as with most things, this started with our own problems. Did we have script debt? Do we have script debt? Are we working through our own? We sure are. And we'll talk more about what we've done to reduce it and make it better and how excited we are to have AI to do it to where we can finally do it once and for all and for real and keep it maintained. So, yes, because it takes real money, real time, and real people to put all that you need into your NetSuite account so that it fits for your business, which is wonderful. But when you get to 3, 5, 10 years later, you have some things in there that looks a bit like hoarding. So let's talk about that a little bit more. So script hoarding, what is it and why does it matter? Well, you end up doing that because you can't tell. So you'll look into your list of scripts and you'll go, gosh, these three, they look like they do the same thing, but I don't do this. I'm not in that department. This one looks like it too, but maybe, when Joe did it, it really does something critical for the accounting department. Or, gosh, I don't think anybody does that anymore. I think we could delete it, but does it do anything important? Nobody knows. Nobody knows where to start. Where do I even begin? Who do I call? So you end up just growing and growing that pile of scripts, wondering when and if and how will it ever be mastered. Then there is a technical cost. I don't know that if everyone realizes this, but the scripts are initialized in real time. Even if your code checks a condition and exits, it still spends a bit of time in there. And there's the execution, and then there's the UI drag. All of these things have an actual technical cost that doesn't matter for a script or two. But we've seen 500 scripts, we've seen 4,000 scripts in an account. And after a while, those really start to matter to your overall account and its performance. So what do you see? Well, it's kind of murky, shadowy, and dark, like our little, graph over there, little photo over there. It can be slow, it can be hard to modify. We had a customer that was moving from, they had two warehouses and they wanted to move from one warehouse down to one warehouse in a different location in a different state. They found a script that was deleting stuff, and something about when they made the changes initiated that script, and data was going. That's the last thing you want to find is like missing data, because some script says, oh, let me get rid of it, which that's its own discussion. But nonetheless, you get mystery dependencies, mystery issues. Your upgrades can have problems. You can try to write new functions and suddenly something else starts to happen and you're like, what is happening and why? So you get a lot of symptoms that shows you there's some real things to clean up. So we needed to solve this problem, and we know our customers need to solve this problem as well. So what we've done is we've started with a service deliverable that we will eventually productize. But for now, we want to make sure the security is tight and all of this works well. And we want to have hands-on monitoring of it to make sure that how it works, what it delivers, and why it delivers what it delivers is exactly what is expected and what is needed. So we run this on your NetSuite AI. We are not installing a different AI or anything else. It's your NetSuite AI that we're using to run this. So let's make sure we understand that we're not introducing any other AI into your account. So that's part one. We are not changing, updating, touching any code as part of this service either. We are doing an analysis of your code, and we will show you both what it pulls out raw data, and we'll show you the final analysis report that you would get as well. We're going to be this will be reviewing your workflow automations, your schedule scripts, your user event scripts. So those are the things that we'll be covering inside of it. And you'll get, well, again, we'll show you the actual deliverable, but it's going to tell you, hey, these are it looks like duplicate scripts. These are the ones that look like they're slow. These are the ones that look like they're never run, like they haven't been run in 2 years, 3 years. These are the ones that look like it's been run once. This is the one that's being run 100,000 times. Maybe that needs to be optimized. So we will deliver all of that inside of the package that we send to you. Okay. So from here, I've got Abneed Rodriguez. He's a senior developer here at Epiphany. And because we don't quite have this as a product yet, I don't love running scripts in NetSuite as an end user. So we're going to have Abneed share his experience and expertise and how this works. All right, Abneed, you're up.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andy Rodriguez, and I'm going to introduce you an example about how this works. For example, we have here a real life NetSuite account that we had thousands of scripts deployed here. And one situation that we're talking about here is when you need to audit your scripts, you need to determine like which scripts are slower or how many or which one are the ones that has more runs, or even so knowing what script does is something that's we as developers is something we encounter very often, that sometimes I need to review some code, but I'm not a developer in the first place. And so the reason is, so here, so one of the things we do is we create this script that what it does is going to generate a report about every script that you have in your account, and it will provide you the functional documentation and the technical documentation, how to runs in the last 12 months, and what was the last run. So the other thing you need to do is just go in here and execute. And this is going to call the internal large language model of NetSuite, their own agent AI, which is going to generate a report and provide you the information that you need to know what's the status of your script deployed in this account. So when it's done, it's going to provide you these reports, and the report is looking something like this. So you can see here, we have some scripts that we have in this account. For example, this is user event script, and it provides us the functional documentation and the technical documentation of that script. It has the business logic and information that you need to understand what it does. And me as a developer also provide me information about what the dependencies has, the custom record, the custom fields, the custom list, or any libraries that depends on. And also here you can see how many runs it has, that script. You can see here it ran around 1,145 times in the last 12 months. And it was run just 2 days ago. So this is example of what it looks like when you run this macro script. It provides this information, which is very valuable because me as a developer going to script, understand it, and provide the computation is really time consuming. And for time consuming, it translated for a lot of money. So that's basically a quick demo about what it does, this reporter.
And a couple of things here. So, for example, if the last time, if it was run like, 50,000 times in a year, Abneed, would that likely indicate that it may need to be tweaked for performance?
Yes.
Yeah. So, there are a lot of things. Not only will you see what isn't used, but you can see what is overused. You can see, oh, it hasn't been run at all in a year. Is it just an annual script, or is it really not needed? That's why no one's running it. Or is it something you thought was running and, oh, it isn't running and it should be, and now I realize all my data is wrong. There's a lot you can really get from this fundamental information. And also, I want to point out in the technical section, you can see, can you click into one of those a little bit more?
Yeah.
Thank you. So you're seeing the dependencies, you're seeing the custom record, you're seeing the list, you're seeing the fields. So it's a lot of data that's very quickly pulled out. There's more we will do when we get this data. When we give you back the deliverable, we'll be analyzing that and comparing that with more AI to say, okay, what should be eliminated, likely eliminated, what should be looked at because it looks like it is critical. So as best as we can discern with this data, we will provide that back to you in your report. And just to say, we've had developers do this by hand, and it took 30 days to compare 5 scripts, and that looked like they were duplicated, and that's just not realistic. There's no way to do that without AI. So now that we have AI, we're super excited to that we're able to do this now. Okay. All right. So I think Abneed will go to Kelsey's screen from here. And Kelsey, let's take a look at the deliverable that I keep talking about. So this is an example of what you guys would get with it, because you really want to, it's great to have the list of scripts, which you'll get the raw data, but it's even better if someone can take a look at it for you. So that's really what we want to show is the analysis that we would do as well. And then once you get the analysis and what you want to do from there is, entirely up to you. You may just say, hey, I've got the people at my team. I could do it. Epiphany, we want you to do it. We want our integrator to do it. But they'll have a lot of good, solid information, both with the raw data from the sheet that we give you and the report that, whoever's doing that work will have a lot of information to save them a lot of time. So are you able to share that, Kelsey?
Yeah, sorry, just working with multiple screens, just trying to figure out which one it went to.
Okay. So this is an example of, what do you need immediate reaction for, what's recommended, what's ready for AI, what do you need to do? So you can see here, there's scripts that haven't been triggered in 18 months. There's duplicate work here. There's, a lot of work to be done. There's about 18 hours in this area for review. Then there's some critical issues. These are bad, they're slow, and they need to be looked at as soon as possible. So that's part one. So let's go to the next section. So we'll also tell you exactly which ones those are, what the recommended is as well. Now, these are not written in stone. Each one of these needs to be reviewed, not just actioned upon. These are recommendations, but someone would need to dig into these and confirm that these are on target, but this does save you a lot of time and that it tells you exactly where to look. Okay. So finally, you'll have our raw, but you also have this, this ability to see your scripts, what they do, and what who last had them, and all of that. So that if you do have 3 scripts and you can't quite discern which one's the winner, you can see who ran it last or where it ran from. Hopefully, that'll provide you the person you need to talk to figure out which one stays and which one needs to go and how to combine them. Okay. All right. So. And then here's your action plan, what you can do this week, next week, and and then when you can be ready to run AI over your nice new clean account. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through our next set of slides. So one of the things we're going to do is we will actually productize this. So this is not available. Oh, that's the deliverable example, the raw. This is not available now, but this is where we're going. So we will have Epiphany Lens as a dashboard where you can see, it'll tell you, it'll run and give you the health of things. So you can see it on the dashboard. You can have some standing things to ask, and that'll be available to you. And down below, you can see the standard, hey, let's talk to this, let's write it out, whichever you prefer, whether you want to talk or whether you want to write, that'll be available. And when you do, you can go to your next screen here. Which is, the details. So I want to see, show me in this case, show me the 5 slowest scripts. Which ones are those? And then it can bring that back to you. And then when you do, you can click into the details. And when you click into the details from there, you will be able to see both the performance of it and the recommendation on the right. Again, this is a recommendation only. It's not intended to be a cut and paste to fix. This should save somebody a lot of time, but someone still needs to review to make sure that whatever is recommended still holds throughout your entire system and anything else that it might have dependencies. Now, the AI would have already told you dependencies, so you know where else to look, but someone still needs to touch and look at this. This is not a copy and paste. But this is where we're going. So this is something we're looking to start delivering in the next 6 months. It'll be phased out over the next year or so. All right, so let's go to our next area. So just to recap, what does it show? It shows you that functional description of it, the technical details of it, when was it last run, who ran it, how often was it run, does it run too much, does it run not enough, does it run never, is it something that needs to be reviewed? So our intention here is to leave you with the ability to easily see what needs to be tackled in your account and do some prioritization on it. Okay. So what can it reveal? It can show you unused deployments so that you can do that. It can show you, hey, these 3 scripts are the same, so I need to consolidate it. Maybe it needs to have, limited deployments on it. Maybe it has too many deployments. Maybe it doesn't have enough. Maybe I need to narrow the scope. Like this, when we investigated why is this slow, it's trying to cover too much at a time and it needs to be brought down. So there's a lot of things that you can do from the technical aspects with this information as well. Okay. So why now? Well, now that NetSuite has AI available in their own and they've connected it to Claude, we know a ton of accounts. They're busy doing all their AI work and, what can I get out of my account? And that's really amazing. But we all know, and Claude will tell you straight up, like not all my results are 100% accurate. The more bad data you have, the more weird scripts you have, the more likely you are to not get the results you think you're getting from AI because the base source of that data isn't accurate and complete, etc. So you really want to have your account cleaner to get better AI results for all your AI initiatives. So as it says, it doesn't fix bad data, it just exposes it. So what do we want you to have? We want you to have clarity, an action plan. And we really want to talk to you about what we found, why we found it, and what those recommendations are, so that y'all can then take it and decide how you want to handle it from there. So we are the starting point for doing this cleanup work in your account. Okay, so questions?
I'll ask a question. For the sake of the analysis, does it matter if the script is logging, debug, audit, error, or is that irrelevant?
It's irrelevant. We'll
Okay.
analyze it no matter which, what the function is.
Okay, good.
It's relevant because, sorry, it's relevant for me. As this the audit, the book is irrelevant for the AI because the AI is the one you reads all the script, it has all the context and the components depending on the script. The debugging audit is more for us, the humans, to have the actual output of what happens to that script. So yeah, that's why we say it's irrelevant in that context with AI.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you.
I have a couple of questions. This is Roy. Hey, Leo. The first question is, does this tool target I see that it's targeting the script and how well or not as well it should be written, but does it target the deployments as well? So for example, you've got a deployment setup that's going to use all your queues at high processor settings, right? High priority settings, which means it's going to consume as much as it possibly can. Does this tool target things like that?
Oh, so we didn't think about that, but we can add that to it, right, Abneed? Because that actually makes a lot of sense. Because I don't think we added that, but we can, yeah?
You mean, are you talking about the government units that has been consumed, the script?
Not the governance. No, this is actually on the deployment of where you can set up, like, if you have a Suite Cloud Plus license, you got 5 or 10 queues, and then you set it to 10 queues for this one deployment at a high priority. It's going to stop everything until it gets done.
Right.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we need to add adjustment with the AI.
Yeah.
Be able to get the output.
Yeah, that's a really great one, Roy, and we'll add that to it because I really would. That's really one of the goals we wanted to have, but we didn't think of it from that perspective. So thank you for that. We'll add it.
hmm My next question is, I really like the dashboard and the product layout. That's really nice to give like a health score. But as an administrator, there are things that we can't touch. So, for example, third-party bundles, NetSuite suite apps that we've installed, things like fixed assets that we can never rewrite those scripts, but we know they haven't run in 2 years. And I would not want to see that on my score, lowering it down. I want to know which third-party bundles, can I omit those things and say, what is my true health score for the things that we can control?
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. So we can have it, show you this. I would want to do both, right? Here's your overarching score with everything, but here's just yours. So I
Right.
think we can add that to the dashboard. Good enhancement.
Okay, very good. And actually, I have another question. It's best practice to try to get up to the latest version, API version of your scripts. So does this tool also recommend maybe considering going from 1.0 to 2.1, something to that effect, versus just here's how you fix 1.0 to make it better?
No, it's going to include that because that's really, because it's some 1.0 is deprecated or going to be like it's around the corner, right? So it's going to have that recommendation as well. Not
Okay,
how to
so
fix 1.0 script because that's really not good advice.
right. I just wanted to know if it would say, hey, you should consider going from 1.0 to,
Yeah,
to
it's definitely
2.1.
yeah,
Right. Okay.
definitely for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Certainly. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll wrap up here.
Yep. Thank you guys for your questions and being so engaging. That's what makes it fun, and we love having conversations like this. Um, we'll make sure the recording goes out to you guys so you can revisit anything we've covered. And if you have a question or think of it later, just let us know. We'd be happy to set up a one-on-one conversation with you guys afterwards. All right, so let's talk about what, I guess we kind of talked about what it includes and what it actually looks like. But just, I guess, to recap as well, when you engage with us with the Epiphany Lens, we'll go into your NetSuite account, we'll do the complete analysis. And again, we want to be clear with something. We don't read it, or we read it, we analyze it, and we report it, right? But we don't touch your scripts. We don't make changes. We don't write anything in your account. And you'll end up with 4 reports. The complete functional and technical documentation, like you saw from Abneed. And it does include the dependencies, and then a duplicate script report, a slow performance report, and a report identifying the scripts that haven't ran in over a year, 3 years, or rarely used. We do deliver this within 7 business days of receiving access to your account. And we close with a review session together so that you understand exactly what you're looking at and what to do next. And all that for a flat fee of $7,500 for up to 1,500 scripts. If you are ready to see what's inside your NetSuite, we do have a couple of links that will send you as well to book a discovery call, as well as go ahead and get started with the payment section and all that stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope this gave you a clear picture of what ScriptEd is costing you and what's possible with AI. Tomorrow at the latest, you'll receive the recap email with the recording and the links to get started. And please feel free to reach out with us with any questions you might have. We're happy to hop on a call. Yeah, because we want to make sure your NetSuite account gets cleaned up and under control. This is just the beginning. So next Thursday, you can tune in again with us to learn more about our AI series. We'll be talking about our AI compass and how it will point the way through all this AI noise. So yeah, you definitely probably don't want to miss it. And if you haven't already, there will be also a registration link to that in the email tomorrow. So we'll see you there. Thank you, and hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.